Hi, my name's Jason. It's week 6, day 43 of my full-time chronic pain rehabilitation journey. Today I'm going to talk about something that's recurring and difficult, which is a question I have, and that is, what if I fail? I failed before, what if I fail this time? You might have the same question, and I'll try to teach you how to address it with what I've learned so far in my journey. First though, a quick status update. I've tried to shoot this video 6 times and I can't. I'm not sure why. It could have something to do with the fact that I'm coming down from ketamine and I'm highly emotional and I'm a little self-conscious for some reason, and I keep getting confused about why I'm shooting the videos. I keep thinking I'm doing it for you, but then I get caught up about how I look and how I'm perceived, and then I get lost and I'm not here anymore and my real voice doesn't come through. So I'm going to try to be real, even though I'm slightly motion sick and a little hyper emotional from the effects of the ketamine. In any event, I'm making these videos for something more important than myself, and that's hard for me to realize, that I'm not the subject. I'm doing this to help you. And so, with that in mind, I'm going to share what was a miraculous week last week. I thought on multiple occasions I was going to have what I call a shutdown, where I have to rest and recover for a couple days to resume exercise-like activities. And that happened multiple times, and every time it did, I got the same warning signals I've had before when the shutdowns have happened, but I didn't shut down. So the fear was there, and the next morning I got up and I was able to go about my normal routine, and it was a miracle. It was a miracle. But that didn't stop the fear from recurring every time I got the same signals I was used to receiving that precede a shutdown. And so today I want to talk a little bit about what I did to get past that and how I've learned to get past it this week. It's been kind of trial and error, but I think I've managed. And I'm really excited to share that with you. First, I have a couple tips. The theme of my videos is to fight for your life. And you can always fight a little bit harder, and you'll learn how to do that as you go. You won't know how to do it right away. You can have that fighting spirit at the start, but you have to learn how to fight harder and how to fight smarter over time. One example is with diet. So I started changing my diet back in November. I went to basically a plant-based diet and a non-processed food diet, minimal animal products. And from there, I've just been refining it over time, and my personal trainer has helped me to understand how competing athletes, people who, they participate in fitness competitions or bodybuilding competitions, how they are able to shed, fat and then grow muscle at the same time. And I call this the cut diet. So I'm going to try that because I do need to lose some pounds still, and I would like to see more of the effects of my efforts, and I'd like to see my muscles grow faster. So I think his dietary advice can help me with that, and so I'm going to adopt that. Maybe in a future video I will go over it with you in more detail. But it's just one example of me trying to refine and go a little bit more all in and hold nothing back. If I want to get better, I need to find everything I can that will help me on my journey and give a little bit more until I have nothing left to give, which might be right now, I'm not sure. And then I have a story I want to share. My grandmother shared a story of when her mother first got running water in the house. And as the water went into the faucet, she cried. It was such a momentous thing to her. Now, I haven't been crying when I take hot showers, but they're incredible. For about a month, a little over a month now, I've been doing cryotherapy. So I take cold showers and I sit in a cold tub, which is near freezing water. And I do this every day. And to get in a hot shower is amazing. It feels so good, and I'm so grateful for it. So if you can find those little things that make you feel joy and gratitude, run with them. And for me right now, that's a hot shower. All right, so back to the topic. As I mentioned, I went on a ketamine trip today. It's a psychedelic that can help with anxiety and depression, which does produce some motion sickness, after effects, and also some emotional releases, and I'm probably having a little bit of one right now. But I wanted to share that part of it with you so you can see a little bit of what I'm going through, because if I hide it too much, it's not real. That's me putting on a phony face. And let's just be frank, this sucks. It's hard. And I'm not always composed, and I'm not always put together, and I am struggling in the background. And you will too if you embark on a rehab journey like this one. And if you do, you're going to have fears at the outset, but you're going to have recurring fears during. And one of those is going to be, what if this time is no different than every other time I've done before? And I wish I could tell you it's going to work for sure. I don't even know that for my journey. I'm still operating somewhat on the basis of faith, but not as much. I have some evidence now that it's working. But the way I was able to get through my fears this week was a couple of steps, and I've written them down. One is to validate the fear. You have to feel it fully. So for me, the fear is I'm going to go to all this effort and make these videos, and in the end, I will fall down and not be able to continue. And even worse, I won't be an inspiration for you or other people to get better, and I want to help others. And so I'm scared of falling down because not only what it means for my life, but because it means I won't be the shining example that I want to be to you. You have to let these feelings play out as if they've actually happened. And if you entertain them to the fullest extent, the full extent, they don't have as much power. In fact, right now I kind of feel liberated from them a little bit, even though I'm really emotional. And in some ways I guess I'm facing them right now in front of you. But you have to feel it fully. And what you realize when you do that is you're still okay. The world didn't end. You didn't die. You can do it. And you don't know that until you feel it. Otherwise, it's this mystical thing that you've never experienced, and it seems weightier and heavier than it really is. It still hurts and it's still painful, but it is surmountable, and you have to let yourself feel that to realize it. And then the next thing is you have to challenge the fear. So I could say that this rehab journey is just like every other rehab journey, and it's going to fail like everyone before it. But the reality is it's not going to fail for a couple of reasons. One, not everything's the same this time. I am doing a lot different than I've done in prior rehab journeys. I have what I call supportive routines, which is warm up, and then I go to a recovery center and they do a bunch of techniques on me afterwards, and I stretch, and then I use ice packs in my cool down routines. So these supportive routines have made a huge difference, and I think that's why I'm not having the shutdowns. Excuse me while I wipe my nose. The next thing is to realize that even if this isn't the last time you have to try to rehab, every failure imparts knowledge and sets you up for the next run. So if I hadn't gone through several prior iterations of trying to rehab my body, I wouldn't have learned a lot of the skills that are helping me do it right this time. And even if I get all the way down the road, near the end, and I fall over, I've gotten so much farther than I got any time before now that I can leverage that information and that knowledge to try again. And I don't want to try again, but I'm going to. Even if this doesn't work, I will try again. And the last thing I learned that's helpful to me is when you ask yourself what if questions, like what if I fail, it's pretty biased to not ask yourself what if I succeed. Because you might. And you have to entertain the what if I fail question with all of its heavy emotions and difficulty. But let yourself entertain the possibility of success too, with all the hope that engenders and imparts. And you may not be able to do the hope part until you've entertained the fear part, but it's only fair. It's only fair to do both. And I tend to only entertain the fear part. Up until now, I haven't entertained the hope part, which is what I'm going to do from this point forward. I'm going to ask myself, what if I do succeed? What if I can reach people? What if I can help them? And God, I hope that's the case. But I'm going to let myself entertain the idea that it's possible. So to sum it all up, essentially, you have to validate the fear, which means feel it fully. Realize that there are reasons for your fear, but they're not the only reasons, right? There's there are other mitigating factors, which is why you have to challenge your fear and bring to bear, points like, hey, I'm doing things differently this time, or I learned this new technique, or there are reasons to have optimism and hope that can challenge the fear. And then let yourself entertain the what if, other side of the what if question, which is, what if I succeed? What if this actually works? And let yourself stew on that for a while and build some hope. To sum it up, the answer essentially is hope for the best, accept the worst, hope for the best. And I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm going to just end the video because, frankly, I'm kind of spent today. And I'll just say this. Fighting for your life means fighting your fears as you're getting the help you need, as you're going through your journey. It takes a fight to get started, but the real fight is during the journey and coping with recurring fears like the ones that I have, that I'm going to fail and that I'm not going to make it. I wish I could tell you you're going to make it. I wish I could tell you I'm going to make it. I don't know that for sure, but I have cause for hope now. I believe I'm doing things differently this time enough that I will be able to succeed. And I hope that my videos help you succeed.